This is your Commander-in-Chief. I am issuing a warning. The following podcast contains adult content and intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Hey, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with T-Rexx.
How you doing, everybody? It's good to be here.
Jake Ellenberger is training. He's got a big fight coming up in like 2 weeks with Kelvin Gastelum at UFC 180. He's now pretty much the main event. Since we'll get into that later with Mark Hunt actually stepping up to fight Verdum because Kane got hurt. Diego Sanchez got hurt. Joe Lozon got hurt. It's pretty much Jake now. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second.
It's pretty much impossible to hurt Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, I spoke to Diego. He's in good spirits. He's in really good spirits.
Does he have Ebola virus or something?
No, I hit him up and I'm like, hey man, I hope you're feeling better. And he's like, man, you're a true friend. I was like, oh, thanks, man. Like the fact that he called me a true friend made my whole day.
Nice.
And he's like, yeah, he said he was lucky he didn't get much more hurt. You know that Diego must have been really hurt for him to pull out of a fight. Yeah. I mean, that dude is crazy. I was reading. I was thinking about Diego Sanchez recently because I was reading about Bernard Hopkins, who's got a fight coming up against Kovalev. It should be a good fight, actually. I think Kovalev's probably going to win that fight. But Hopkins is almost 50 years old.
503 years old.
But I was reading in the new Ring magazine. I love the Ring magazine. But
really?
I read it cover to cover. It's one of my favorite sports magazines. But Hopkins has never been cut in a fight. Never been cut in a fight.
That's because black don't crack.
Is that what it is? I don't know. I've seen some black people crack. I don't know that. I mean,
those are watered down Negroes.
But then you look at a guy like Diego Sanchez, who gets cut during the walk to the Octagon. Right. He gets cut during when the fight's announced.
While they're taping his gloves.
So I mean, nothing against. I love Diego. I'm not saying. It's just funny how some people just never get cut.
Damn, D-Hop has never been cut.
Never been cut in a fight. Never, according to the Ring magazine.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. Anyway, but we have a good show today. We have Elias Theodorou, who I think is the most undervalued fighter in the UFC. One of them right now.
10-0 right now?
He's 10-0. He won the Ultimate Fighter. He was in like 10 TV shows in Canada. He was on 6 covers of romance novels. He's a good dude, a really nice guy, a handsome guy, but people don't really know the guy. I think it's weird. He's not like a name that like people maybe because of his. It's weird. You think that people would embrace the guy more.
He's cool as hell too. He came on the show and we had a good time with him.
Yeah, he was talking about how he wanted to slay more box, but he was in training camp, so he has to live vicariously through our show.
Which is horrible.
Awful. So we got him. We got Rowdy Bec is on the show.
I love her.
I love her too. I'm watching her every week.
She's one of the pictures I photobombed.
Yeah, thank you for that. But thanks for reminding me.
At least that was the good one. That wasn't the one with me shoving food in my mouth.
I don't even want to talk about those things. I block it out of my memory. I've had fans send me pictures of you copped out because they saw how annoyed I was. They heard how annoyed I was.
I remember I cropped myself out of one.
I know. It made it even worse. But Rowdy Bec, I think she's hot.
She is hot. There's something about her.
There's something, I don't know. Girls with neck tattoos who still are hot are really hot to me. I don't know. Something about her. There's something about her that's very sexy and hot and cool. And we have a girl who's fighting, making her pro debut this Saturday on Fight Pass on the Invicta card, Maegan Goodwin. She's 4-0 as an amateur, 21 years old from Oklahoma. Another beautiful girl.
21.
So just let me know. Her manager reached out to me. She has a manager. That's when you know a girl's hot, when she has a manager and she's never had a pro fight. That's what. I mean, there's guys out there who are like 20-0 with no manager. Well, not 20-0. There are guys with good records who can't get a manager. This girl has never had a pro fight before, and her manager is doing like a whole press tour. So I got to talk to her about that. But she's good. I watched a clip of her last fight. She quick transition to an armbar for a win.
Nice.
And she's beautiful. She's from Oklahoma. She started fighting a little while ago. I want to talk to her. Let's talk about us right now since it's our show. How was your week?
It was very uninteresting. My wife's been out of town. And
so you had the kids.
So I've had the kids. So I'm just like basically Mr. Mom, just shuttling kids around to ice hockey and acting and singing and dancing and basketball and figure skating.
Wow.
Yeah. My daughter, well, I always talk about my daughter who plays basketball.
Now, your wife is white, correct?
No.
What,
I'm not saying a no like.
I mean, she's Mexican. What is she?
No, she's black.
She's black?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she half black or?
No, but we're the same complexion though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But she's not half black. She's 100% Negro.
100%, right? So your kids are 3/4 black.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
So what is that? A troctoroon?
A troctoroon? I don't know. This is your white education coming through. I'm just kidding. A joke. All right, go on. All right, so go on.
So anyway, my 12-year-old daughter who plays on an elite basketball team, like I said, she's 12 years old, but she plays on a 14-year-old team, and the 14-year-old team played at Linwood High School, which is like in the hood in Compton, Linwood Knights. And my daughter played against their high school team at 14 years old, but my daughter's only 12. And her team won against this school.
Wow.
Now you're thinking like there's white girls, Hispanic girls, Asian girls, and a couple black girls that play on my daughter's team. This Linwood school came out, and everybody, it looked like the Zulu Nation.
It was like Bring It On with like the other school.
Exactly.
Bring It On. It was wow.
Right, and I was like, oh my god, this might be a slaughter because these are high school girls, and they're all from the hood.
Do they have their kids with them? Do they have? No,
some of them had their grandkids with them.
That's great.
That's funny. No, but so they won, and I was very proud of my daughter. She made points and all that. It's 12 years old, scoring against high school girls.
Wow,
I was pretty impressed.
That's good for you. Good for your daughter.
Yeah, man.
Every week she gets better.
She does.
And next week she'll be like, yeah, she played the Lakers and she dunked on Kobe and.
Which at this point would be hard to do.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just kidding.
That's good.
Quack,
so, did you do any comedy at all or no?
Nah, not this past week. No.
Is it hard?
It sucks, dude.
Are you looking around at your kids going, why didn't I pull out?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Right
No, I'm just kidding. But it's, I could probably get someone to watch my kids, but it's almost impossible to get someone who wants to watch 3 kids.
Yeah. You have 4, I thought.
Yeah, but one's in college.
Oh, okay.
So she's not at home. So
nice.
To watch 3 kids at home, it's a pain in the ass. So. And the money I would be making in Hollywood would go to pay the babysitter.
That's true. Well, there you go. There you go. Well,
my advice: pull out.
I had a crazy week. I had a Wednesday night. I found out, it's always hard sometimes. Like, I'm not complaining. I love getting auditions.
Right.
But it's hard with it's like 8:30 at night. I'm going to a comedy show. I have a date, and then I get a agent. He hits me up. Hey, audition tomorrow, 3:00. Here's 14 pages to memorize.
Oh my god!
And you're like,
dude,
isn't
isn't that the most stressful crap in the world? Is when
because you gotta put your entire life on
hold and read all this stuff, and you keep second guessing yourself.
Oh, you gotta make these quick choices,
times.
And I'm not very good at memorizing things as I used to be. I don't know if it's all the weed in my life or the whatever. I have too much stuff in my brain to memorize, but it just was like, And then so I basically so I tried to get out of the comedy show. I called up the booker. I'm like, hey man. I got this audition for Fox and blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, hey, the booker's like, dude, I got a director here to see you. I'm like, all right, so I got to go to that. I was like, okay. And he's like, the director requested to see me. So I go to the State Social House, right, which is this new Jay Davis room.
Jay Davis, right.
Fun room. And I got my date there, and then, it's all, porn chicks. And I'm, like Jessica James, like legendary porn girls, right? So
who was the guy that wanted to see you?
And there's this
Lexington Steele?
Yeah, so then... So I got my first bukkake scene next week.
Nice.
No. So it was all this, and it was a fun set. It was like me, Greg Wilson, Tripoli, guys. But and I'm on stage, and I do a joke, right? And there's a fire truck, and you could hear the fire truck from inside, right? So I do a joke, and I go, that joke was on fire, like right when the truck. Oh my god! I was so pumped. It was perfect timing, man. I wish I had it on tape just to watch myself. So that was cool, and then. But then I ended up with the date. I ended up running lines with her the whole night.
Oh my god!
I'm like, I gotta prepare for this audition. So then, of course, I got the acting coach. I have to the emergency coaching session. So that's $150 out the for the hour. And then I get there
the next day.
Yeah, the next day, and then I got this new app on my phone, rehearsal app. So I'm just all day long practicing lines. And then I get there and I blank. I didn't totally blank, but it was never as good as it was when I was with the acting coach. Right. It was okay. It just wasn't what I wanted. And then I'm beating myself up the rest of the 3 days, and that's just ugh.
Yeah, I figured out that you have to just let that go as soon as you walk out that door.
And the hardest thing to do is to do that.
Right, just to let it go. I mean, I just try to occupy my mind so I'm not thinking about it driving up the freeway going like, God damn it,
well, it's
why
hard.
did I do that?
Well, it's hard because you want to nail every line and every beat, as acting, you never want to focus on the line. You want to focus on what's behind the line, what's the
emotion,
intention, what's the objective, why you're saying it, what's the thought. But it's hard to do that when you got the line 10 hours ago. You know, you have to get so off book. Anyway, this is all boring probably to our listeners. Anyway, so this girl, right, that I used to date, she was like this adult film star back in the day, right? And now she's just doing cam modeling, which is basically, I don't know if you know this. Webcam, which is I think I'm not sure if it's a better or worse. I think it's better. You're not actually having sex with anybody. You're just like at home with a camera. But at the same time,
some of those girls are making a ton of cash.
Yeah, but that's not exactly what you want your wife to do. Like you don't want to come home and all of a sudden it's like there's dildos everywhere and then the kids are. It's not really like I don't see a long term.
Does she have like a husband and kids? And
no. She doesn't. She's just a friend of mine. We hung out. She's a friend. But it reminded me of a funny story of I dated years ago. I went out with this porn star who was a pretty big porn star, an Asian porn star. I'm not going to name her name, but you can probably figure out. One of the biggest
Nautica?
Asian. What?
Nautica
is not a...
Akira? Yeah, right?
No, Asakura? No.
Asakura?
All right. Anyway, she's this big, this Asian porn star. So it was funny because I'm hanging out with her one night, and I think that our listeners would enjoy the story. So I find her box cover, and on the front cover,
isn't that called underwear?
Oh, that's funny. I like that. That's pretty good. Normally, I hate when you fucking interrupt me, but that was good. So the front cover, she's like naked on the front cover. I'm like, oh, this is a beautiful picture. And then I turn it over, and she has like a dick in one hand, a dick in the other, right? And I'm like, oh, God, right? She goes, don't judge me. I don't judge your comedy. I go, I don't have two dicks on stage while I'm telling jokes. And she fucking threw me out of there so quick. But I thought it was pretty funny, though.
God.
It was funny.
That's funny.
All right. So anyway.
Cock block yourself.
I cock block. You know what? One of the problems of being a comedian is that you always go for the joke first, and then you say the joke, and then a lot of times if you're not on stage, you end up cock blocking yourself. Exactly. But you know what? I only went out with her when she was in between. She was a contract girl, so meaning that like she didn't have to work that often. And then when she went back to work, I'm like, this is not working out. I can never deal with going out with a girl who gets plowed by dudes for a job. I just can't deal with it. You got to have some type of. Anyway, so Saturday was cool. I shot a sketch of Russell Simmons.
Nice.
That was great. It's called Dr. Reasons. Have you heard of it?
Uh-huh.
It's this online web series. This
all deaf digital.
All deaf digital, and this black guy is he's a therapist. People come in. And my problem, I was dating this 500-pound black girl, a 300-pound, and
that's better.
And then she was like, he can't sweep me off my feet. And then the guy's like, oh, you like want her to want to pick her up? You want to take her out? Like, no, he wants me to pick her up. I'm like, I can't. She's fucking huge. And it was like one of those things.
Right.
And then it was like we were having sex problems, and it was funny. It's a funny sketch. It'll be out soon. I don't want to ruin the whole sketch. And then I did chocolate sundaes. I'm doing a lot of black rooms lately. I don't know what it is.
That's good.
They're accepting me as one of theirs. So
who hosted?
Who hosted? It was Esau.
Esau McGraw.
Yeah, Esau was the host.
Big Jaw Esau McGraw.
Yeah, it was a fun show. So
he
I always
hosted
like
both
the
shows?
8 o'clock show better than the 10 o'clock, actually.
Yeah, the 8 o'clock show is better because people are there to actually see comedy.
Yeah.
And the 10 o'clock show seems like people are there to see who else is there.
It's like a scene.
It's to see who's there and to be seen.
And you have to prove yourself. And also, I don't like
that.
The 8 o'clock show, they have these like newer comics go on first. Like
it's called Fresh Faces or something.
Yeah, but that kind of warms up the crowd. So when the professionals go on, you end up looking like a stud.
Right.
Whereas like I'm always usually up first on the professional ones. So I have to warm up the crowd.
Right.
And like get them going and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think, like Esau's like, man, we got to bring back affirmative action. Black people have to rise. It's tough being black. Our first comic, I'm like, really fucking.
Is the man.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah. The fuck kind of intro was that,
All right.
So,
how about sometimes they have 12 o'clock show too, and there's like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Monday there's no work. They'll have a 12 o'clock show, and that's even more brutal.
Which is weird because none of those guys don't work anyway. So anyway, this is like the racist. Anyway, what I was, I gotta stop saying and anyway. All right.
Anyway.
So I went on Tinder, right? This is kind of funny. A weird transition. So my friend's like, Tinder. I go on Tinder. Man, fuck Tinder. So
really?
Well, here's what happened. So this girl's pretty cute. We both swipe, right? And I have a lot of these swipes, and I end up forgetting about them. It's just weird the way it's organized. It's not exactly the most. I have ADD. It's hard to actually. So this girl goes, "Hey, this girl's pretty." I'm talking to her back and forth. She goes, "Hey, do you have any pets?" I was like, "Yeah, I have 2 cats and a dog." She's like, "Oh, that's a lot of animals." I go, "Yeah, but well, I know, but I love them all." She goes, "Yeah, but do they have a yard?" I go, "No." She goes, "Well, is that enough space?" I go, "What do you work for, the fucking ASPCA?" Right. She's like, "Yeah, kind of." I go, "What are you on Tinder to fucking take my pets away?" Like, what the fuck? I keep hearing get pussy, not lose mine. I mean, seriously, like that's complete. What is this?
So what happened was
I fucking deleted her. I don't need anyone to question my animal taking. That's what you do. You go on a dating site, take people's pets away. That's what you're. Oh. Really? Is that how bad Pete has gone? They've now going. They're infiltrating dating sites. Right. Fucking insane.
Swiper, no swiping.
Oh God. Anyway, so yesterday wrestling practice, right? So I'm like, coach. I know it's a weird transition. So I love my team's looking pretty good.
We make the rules, man. We make the rules.
The team's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
But this one kid. So we have King of the Mat at the end, right? And this one kid. First day of practice.
Is that like a Royal Rumble type thing?
No. It's like basically take the lightest guys, go out there, do takedowns, and whoever takedown stays in, and the winner is the King of the Mat.
Okay.
So this little kid, this kid's funny. This kid Ian, he first day of practice, with 10 minutes into practice, he goes, "Coach, I don't really like your moves. Can I do my own moves?" I was like,
really? How old is this kid?
The kid's like 10. And he never wrestled before.
That's awesome.
I was like, "No, dude, you have to do my moves." Okay, right? So then after the second day, he's like, "You know what? I kind of like your moves," right? So he actually, yesterday, he wins King of the Mat. Right. Most of my team was hurt, but the kid won, right? I was really proud of him for winning. And he goes, "Hey, coach, this is the first time a scrub ever won?" I go, "A scrub? You're not a scrub." He goes, "That's my nickname, Scrub." I was like, I kind of broke my heart. The kid's calling himself Scrub. It's not really funny. I was like, "Dude, you're not a scrub. You're a good wrestler. You're gonna be great one day." I gave him a whole pep talk, but I was like, couldn't believe it.
Scrub.
Yeah, it's a terrible nickname, right?
It's a cool nickname.
No, it's not.
Scrub.
Kind of is.
Really?
It's kind of like little brother-ish.
I don't want to call the kid Scrub.
Yeah.
I
know. There's 2 different meanings.
Like, come on, Scrub.
I don't know. It was kind of
Scrub.
Kind of bummed me out.
Underdog. He's the underdog.
Not really. You don't call yourself Scrub. I just was like.
He obviously embraced it.
This poor fucking kid, man.
Own it.
I love
Own
these
it,
kids,
you freaking Scrub.
Coaching's awesome, and tomorrow we have Vince Pichel coming in.
Nice.
To help coach.
Nice.
Which is going to be great.
From hell.
Yeah, I go, "Guys, we have a guy in the UFC coming." They're like, "Who?" I go, "Vince Pichel." There's silence.
They're like.
I thought I was going to say John Jones or like a GSP.
Silence.
It was nothing.
Like, Vince Michelle, just crickets, is going to be driving John Jones.
Yeah, and like this one kid, I go to the team. I go, "Guys, listen, you guys want to be good wrestlers. That way you could one day be like Ben Askren, right?" And the one kid goes, "I don't want to live in Singapore." Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
Fox Sports, thank you.
Have a great week.